pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I believe everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes from the last meeting. First by Legislator Wilbur, second by Legislator Lockwood. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. Move on to resolutions.
Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Wilbur.
I want to make a motion to move all the resolutions except for the finance and personnel.
Okay, I have a first. Do I have a second? I have a second by Legislator Mangano. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. We'll move on to FP1, resolution authorizing professional services contract with Tyler Technologies for the County Treasurer's Office. This is an update with for Munis. This is coming out of the Treasurer's budget. As we all know, with the Munis system, as we go, we figure out what we need, we add. And again, it's coming out of the Treasurer's budget himself. First by Legislator Walpole, second by Legislator Holst. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. FP2, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, unappropriated fund balance, debt service reserve.
Move it.
First by Legislator Wilbur, second by Legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. FP3, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, unappropriated fund balance, COVID response. As we all know, we just have to continue putting money in here for now. First by Legislator Walpole, second by Legislator Mangano. Any discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. FP4, resolution awarding professional services contract, Human Resources Department, Medicare Advantage. We do have Julie here if anybody has any questions on this. I got it first by Legislator Twist, second by Legislator Walpole. Does anybody have any questions regarding this matter since Julie's here?
Would you like to say anything on it, Julie?
Anything on it?
All good.
Okay. Any other discussion? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. Okay. Where are we at? Yeah. Establish salary communications coordinator.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to move it and present it as well.
Okay.
If we get a second, I
Okay, I have a first. I have a second by Legislator Twist.
can. Mr. Chairman, this is adding a starting salary of $5,000 on top of the 52 that we've already established. What the director has run into is the candidate that we had in mind, the salary was way too low to take them out of the private sector, bring them in here and really do the job with the certifications that were needed. Upon doing a number of items of research on this, we have found out that if we need to take a candidate off the street, off a list for this, in order to earn the certifications, it would be upwards of $14,000. So we are still saving the money that we proposed 2 months ago, and we will be having a huge savings next year. If you recall, we did away with a service contract, so that's how we are utilizing this position to do that work.
Okay. Well, I have a first and a second. I believe Terry explained that pretty good. Phil, is there anything you need to add? Or okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. Kevin, do you have anything for us?
No, just I gave you the updated sales.
Our updated sales tax. If there's any questions on that, or if anybody needs anything from that, please see Kevin on that or Phil. Phil.
Yes, I gave to the committee this month's variance report. It's good through end of September. And the key numbers to take a look at is at the top of the first page. You see that end of September is 75% of the year gone by. You go to the last page down at the bottom, the numbers in red shows that well, first of all, third column from the right, compare that 75% of the calendar year gone to 59% of the budget expended. So we're in good shape there. Of course, that gap will close as we get into some seasonal expenses in the winter, as we spend on snow plowing and things of that nature. But the two red numbers show where we are in terms of how much we spent this year compared to last. So we're 5.2 million less than we were this time last year, or 3.8% under. So again, hiring, purchasing freezes, and other getting a little tighter with our belts is working.
No, of course, because we still don't know where we're gonna end.
With revenue, right. We have gotten a little more information on revenue. Unfortunately, Highway was notified that Pave New York and early winter recovery was cut 20%. So it was smart for this legislature to fund our road program this year in increments rather than all in one shot. So we expect probably chips will also be cut.
Okay, thank you. Julie?
Just other than the various reports that typically included, to point out that the year-to-date savings currently is $2,345,679, and which is over $700,000 from September of last year.
Mm-hmm. Do we have you received any news on the unemployment issue?
We have been steadily getting credits for those fraudulent claims.
Mhm.
They did try to send us a bill for interest on that last payment, but I pointed out to them that we were given to the end of September to pay it, and we did well enough in time, so they took that away. So
Good.
we didn't have to pay that, which was good.
Okay.
But yeah, they're steadily coming in.
All right, keep us up to date on that, because that's obviously one thing that just kind of really peeves me. I hate to say it like that. I would like to bring Dave Turner in. He's got some information for us. He'd like the committee to know about.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you may recall, the federal judge in California extended the census count for another month. You've all got emails from me in the last week or so about that issue. We're still behind the 2010 count by 0.5%. We moved up, in the last 10 days, we moved up 0.3%, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but that 0.3% potentially makes us eligible for $750,000 in the next decade. So every 1% that we can move up the count is $25 million we can be potentially eligible to get in federal aid. So it's really important. So recently, there's been some small upticks. The top 5 responding towns are Minetto, Valney, Palermo, Hastings, and town of Oswego in that order. And the increases that we've seen were in Richland, Sandy Creek, Palermo, and Hastings. So even 0.1% in each of those helps us a lot. Anything you can do in your communities, I've got some different material here, this little one-page flyer, or some of these. If you can distribute them in places where the public is going to be in your district, it'll help. Every little bit is a lot of money, and it only takes a few minutes. This one in particular is good. It's got 2 phone numbers and the online on there. So far, about 75% of the people who responded in the county have done it online, but phone is the easiest. It takes 5 to 7 minutes, and really it means a lot to all of us. And there's some examples on here that'll hit home with people about schools, daycare centers, libraries, nutrition programs, and things like that. So this is a really quick, easy way to explain it to folks. And anything you can do to help will be great. Thanks.
I know you've been doing a lot with the social media, getting out like on the Facebook and what have you.
Yes, sir.
Does that information that's on that paper, can we get that in that Facebook form also?
Sure.
Because if we could get that out and something like that, I'm sure all of us would share it out as much as we can and try to get that number up a little bit more. so.
Yeah, we did have a budget, from the state. That money, ran out at the end of September as it was intended to. There was more that could have been available to us. They've said, we're gonna try to get that to you, but they haven't yet, so we've been reluctant to do anything that had an expense with it.
Mhm.
But, we can easily post that on Facebook without any extra cost.
That'd be great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Do we have anything else? Legislator Twist?
Yeah, thank you. I just got a quick little thing I've been thinking about. I'm just curious if it's possible to get like a report, either from the treasurer or some company that we can contract with that shows the budget versus actual for revenues in the years of 2018, 2020, could be 5 years. I just want kind of a scope or a way to look at it, because everybody always talks about reimbursements and all I hear is people talking. I don't have the actual numbers. I want to be able to understand the grant funding and all these types of revenue streams. And yeah, I don't know which way to go with this, but I'm just curious if that's something that this committee could kind of direct.
Yeah, we can
I
facilitate, I'm sure we can facilitate something like that with Kevin and Phil, the two of them get together. We can get the information that yeah, because that'd be great, something to report back to us, so we have some of that information. Go ahead.
Is that something you would be able to obtain, Kevin?
Yeah, what I can do, I guess I can get a scope to the committee.
Something that shows
Look
like,
at after to understand, I think I understand what he's asking for.
like the
I
projected,
think most of the numbers we have, but I think the review and the understanding of a lot of that stuff, I think, we need to do probably something.
Well,
because I know I've asked that question before. Usually we have like projected revenue or what we think we're going to be reimbursed, and then the actual always seems to come in lower. Is that information something you would have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I didn't word it properly, but the reason I ask is, you know, we're coming on a budget situation where we're talking about major cuts to our revenue streams. I want to make sure now we're getting what we should be.
Sure.
Before we concentrate on 2 months from now where it's going to be cut. But I think if we can find any areas where we can improve, I think that could help a lot.
Right.
So.
Yeah, let's, I think that'd be something that would be great.
And I also just need to figure it out, because everybody just tells me, oh, we're getting all this money, and I want to be able to see it.
See where it's the
numbers.
streams, where they're coming from, and make sure we're receiving what we're being told we're receiving. Okay, that's great, yeah. Can you put something together for us for next, yeah. Okay, does anybody have any other further questions? Anything else? You good? You were opening up your mouth.
You're gonna make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
You got somewhere to be.
the appropriate motion?
Yeah, I just said it.
Motion to adjourn by Legislator Wilbur, second by Legislator Lockwood. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.